Good evening, everyone. I'm Nathan, here with my wonderful wife, Laura.
Hello.
And we're here to do a review and a full playthrough of the new Jurassic World Dominion Stomp and Smash game.
That's right. We're going to race to build, and we do not want to get stomped on by the T-Rex.
I do like stomping things. That's why I like Grape Escape and Splat.
This is a bit of an interesting game because it actually has Kinetic Sand included. So, you can get like games that use Play-Doh, for example. This is sand instead of Play-Doh.
Yeah, so you've got to basically mold your dinosaur with kinetic sand. Or should I say, I think they refer to it as cloning.
I was going to say, we're going to do some cloning, yes. So this is a brand new game, like obviously for the upcoming
Dominion movie.
Maybe it'll be out sort of not long after I think we're putting this up for you. We haven't played it yet, so we're going to play it for our very first time here in this video.
So we have actually opened it and separated all the pieces and things, and we've had a quick look at the manual, but yeah, first time playing it, so we'll go on an adventure together.
Yay! So we're going to mold, dominate, and smash. Okay.
Alright.
We picked this up at Target, if you are looking for this. Normally we don't mention where we get our board games because they're like second hand. But
vintage and things.
Yep, but because this is a new one, Target in Australia was where we found it. I'm sure other retailers will probably stock it.
So it's a hollow T-Rex. It's got a little like the Jurassic World sort of logo, so when you stamp it, you make a little impression.
We're going to be stamping the sand, by the way.
Yeah. I've already separated the sand and put it into like the dinosaur footprint.
Yep, so there's a little container to store it in, which is very nice. I would hate if it came in like a bag you had to rip open and didn't have anything to then store it in.
No. There was a sheet where we had to punch out all the Jurassic tokens and the dinosaur mover pieces, which are over here, as Laura has.
I haven't got them ready. Hang on. So these are the tokens there that Nathan was just talking about. They're just a little round dinosaur symbol, like the Jurassic sort of Park, Jurassic World sort of symbol. Thick cardboard. There's a whole bunch of those over here. Then we have our plain pieces. Don't ask me what every type of dinosaur is.
I believe it mentions it in the manual, which we'll double check.
Yeah, so we have these ones. Do you want to take some? My hand can't fit all four. And
there's four.
This one. They're double-sided and they've got little plastic bases.
With colours that roughly match what colour are on the actual dinosaur sort of mover.
They're quite nice. They're like very sort of action, sort of forward poses with the dinosaurs. We have
two cloners. So this is what we use to put the kinetic sand in to make clones of our dinosaurs.
Yes. We then have these little pieces, which now Nathan has looked at this.
Yes,
I haven't. I believe this holds up the backdrop though.
Yeah, it's just a backdrop. It's just for fun. Make it more dynamic.
Alright.
Oh, and of course the cards. Did we mention there's no dice in this game?
Ooh.
Yes, it's all handled with cards, similar to how Sorry plays. You pick up a card and you follow the directions of the card to move your piece and or do other actions.
They're very important. Don't lose those.
No.
Then we have the instructions.
In two languages, I think it's French and English.
English? You were going to say Australian.
I was.
We speak English though. Yeah, that could be French. Someone can let us know perhaps. And then we have the English side.
I personally have to read this a couple of times. There was a couple of things that it made sense after I reread it, but I think it could have been a little clearer. So hopefully this video will clear some things up if anyone else is playing it.
Yeah. So the idea of the game, just as you're opening, that is to make some clones, and we want to be the first player to have 5 of these Jurassic tokens. And obviously you want to avoid getting stomped by the T-Rex because he's going to slow you down from achieving your goal.
Alright, let's see if I can just attach this.
Alright, Nathan's just going to put the backdrop on. There's obviously some setup instructions which we've already done about getting all the pieces out. Now we want to use any of those 2 molds there that we have to create 3 clones each.
Yeah, good enough.
Now you don't actually start with all 3 of the clones in the game, but it says to make 3 to then save time later. So you're not constantly stopping the game to make more clones.
Which is slightly confusing because there's other rules ahead. It depends on how many clones you actually have in play. It depends on how many tokens you get at certain points. But so you start with 1 clone.
Yeah. Alright, so obviously you want to shuffle your cards and have those ready, and you do need a discard pile, so just to leave room for that. Alright, our kinetic sand is already in our container, and that has to come, as you're shuffling, into the middle of the game board. Obviously this has sand in it, so probably not something you're going to want to play on a carpeted area. Otherwise you're going to probably lose some
At least kinetic sand can be easier to clean up than regular sand, trust me.
Well, that is true, it kind of sticks together, but still not something you want all over the floor.
Now, who are you going to pick? Each dinosaur has their pre-designated starting zone.
This one, Mr. Frilly.
All right, where does Mr. Frilly start?
Alright, so on the board it shows you, so this is actually the Velociraptor, not Mr. Frilly. He's starting in Malta, which is over there, I think. No, wait, we've got the game board around the different way from how it's in the picture.
Where is he?
Here.
Yeah.
In this one. So on the start space in this area. And you are going to be...
How about I do the... You can Dilophosaurus
in the Biosyn forest.
Only because I happen to be on this side.
Okay. We also have then the Dimetrodon that starts in the Amber Mine, which is that one over the back. And the Pyroraptor, which starts in the Cracked Ice Zone. This is for 2 to 4 players, by the way, if we didn't mention that. Alright, so... Take it away, Nathan.
Take it away.
You read the instructions.
So basically, you have to get 5 tokens. There's several different ways you can get tokens. Every time you pass your start space, if you've got a pair of clones, of cloned dinosaurs in your little home area, you get 1 token. You can have no more than 3 clones per player, which means you can only get a maximum of 1 token via passing your home area. You get tokens if you land on just the token board with the Jurassic World sort of logo. You just get 1 instantly. And there are certain different cards which you can either lose or gain. There are these little, I want to say shortcuts. They're basically like sinkholes. You basically follow it around if you land on there. The spaces here, you get to make your own clone. So if you don't have 3 clones in your home area, you can then make another clone and add to your clone sort of zone.
So it's important to remember which section you start in because that's where you've got to sit your clones.
And that's pretty much it. The rest is all handled sort of by the cards. So how about I just go through the cards while you're making some clones?
Alright, yeah, so I'm going to start making clones. There's only 1 colour of sand. It's like a sand colour, like a normal sand
But there's
colour.
2 of these, so if 2 people need to make them at once, then there is the opportunity to do that.
I feel like they're going to be hard to get out. The tail is quite thin.
Well, they should. It's kinetic sand, so when you tip it upside down, it should just sort of flomp out, but we'll see. So clone, if you pick this one up, then you can just make another clone, if it would focus. Now this one, Prey and Play, you get to squish any one opponent, and then they get a Jurassic World token. The person you squish, that is.
So that's kind of good if you want to squish their clones, but then if they're near the end of the game and almost have all their tokens.
Yes, these are just moving spaces, moving cards. So you pick it up, you move your little dinosaur token, the amount on the card.
Okay. As expected, the tail is quite frail. Didn't mean to rhyme. I would suggest doing that, personally.
Oh, no.
His head is also coming off. Now, I've pushed that sand into the mould quite hard.
I reckon you'd have to put it in, tip it upside down, and then just leave it where it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's falling apart.
All right, well, you make another one, or try and salvage that one.
I'm meant to make 3 of these at the start to save time later, aren't I? Goodness.
We have Stampede. Whoever draws, basically, if this card is drawn, all players return back to their home starting space.
Okay, I've got my 1 out. Oh boy. I think we'll just make them as we go.
I think so. Mass clone, it means everyone can make 1 clone of their respective dinosaur if they don't already have the maximum. Clone.
Are you going to make your own clone? I'll make you a clone while you're talking.
And I believe the T-Rex is I can then stamp someone, I move ahead 1, and I get a token.
Yeah, so it does show them all across the bottom of the card, which is a really nice thing if you're playing with kids.
So the T-Rex is the best card to get.
Yeah.
I think that's...
I imagine there's not many of those then.
No, I think there's only there's 4 in the deck. And the rest are just sort of moving cards. So that's pretty much your lot. You keep on going around until someone's got 5 tokens and that's it.
Yeah, alright, so with the clone building, the tail, as I said, is very thin. I'm having trouble. This one's actually even thinner than the blue one.
They're different dinos, aren't they?
They are. They're very fragile, so I think... I'm not sure their idea of making 3, having like your 2 spare ones off to the side of the board for when you get them.
You're not going to be able to move them.
No,
not without damaging them.
No, I agree. So we're just going to make the 1 and we'll make them as we go because you are only meant to start with 1.
How about I put the cards over here because you don't have to lean because I know that you're a bit sore at the moment.
I've hurt my back.
Yes.
So, yay. Alright, shall we get started then?
You don't start with any tokens, by the way.
No. Now, the player who's meant to go first is the player who has most recently watched a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movie.
Now, this game is for 5 up. I know that me and Laura, we had wonderful parents who took us to see Jurassic World when we were 5 and 6, Jurassic Park. But most kids, I would say, probably wouldn't be seeing those movies until a bit older.
So, I mean, some do, some don't. So, you know, interesting. All right. But then if you're getting this game for your kids, then they've probably seen it. So, you know.
Give or take.
All right. Oh, am I allowed to show you my card?
Yeah.
I didn't ask that. Yep. Move 2.
There's no, like, hidden cards or anything.
Clockwise?
Yep.
1, 2.
Beautiful.
All right.
Alright, what have I got here? Move 2.
Very uneventful.
Oh, I get to clone one.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to just have my turn while Nathan is making his second clone. So this is where you would save time by having had these spare ones made, but they are not great to pick up.
There we go.
You know,
Good enough.
mileage may vary. Also, I noticed that we've already been through quite a chunk of the sand.
And if you've got 4 players, you're going to be stretching to get 4, I think. But
We might at the end see how many we can make. And just see, because you might need to perhaps buy an extra tub of kinetic sand. I'm going to move 2. You didn't shuffle these very well, did you?
I tried. Down the sinkhole you go.
Into the Iceland. What was it? The cracked ice zone.
2 for me. So I get
so
a token because I landed on the thing, yes.
Okay. Move 2. Yeah, I think these need a better shuffle.
Shush you.
So if you land on somebody else's start space, I assume that's just a regular space for you.
2.
Should we give these... Okay, normally we wouldn't recommend shuffling mid-game, but...
I thought I'd shuffle. There's actually not a lot of cards to shuffle, to be honest.
No, there isn't. Alright. Pray and pay. Alright, so this is where I get to squish you.
And I get a token for it.
Now, does that token come from me or from the stockpile?
From the stockpile.
Good, because I don't have any. Alright, so I'm going to squish one of Nathan's clones. Ready?
Yep. Bromp.
It's quite satisfying. That did make a funny cracking sound when I did that, though, because...
It's very hollow and very...
I would recommend not slamming it into your table too hard, because, yeah.
It actually has made an imprint. It's hard to see. I'm not going to lift it up to show you, but it has made an imprint of the traditional one.
Is it meant to sit here?
Yes.
I feel like it should, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just going to sort of...
So he goes off the board now and gets ready to be reused.
But I'm going to leave him here in case I can remold him just for...
Well, put it back. Yeah, we'll remold it then while you're waiting off the side of the board.
Alright.
So Nathan now only has 1 clone, though.
Yes.
Alright, that was my card.
Yes.
You get a token for that.
I do.
I didn't want to help you.
We'll go back to the start space.
Okay.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh.
Your turn?
And nothing happens, we just go back?
Yes, although it says if you pass or land on there and you've got 2, you get a token, but I'm not sure if that applies if you've got a stampede.
Let me just check. Again, this is our first time
So
playing.
have a pair of clone dinosaurs when
Stampede.
you reach your personal start space.
All players return to the start space. Don't forget to check if you have a pair of dino clones. If you do, you collect your
Okay,
token.
so that can be useful. I mean, if Laura hadn't have crushed my dino before, when I got sent back here, I would have had a pair of dinos and I would have got 1 more token. But alas, that is not the case.
No. So you have the stampede, so it's my turn.
Mass
clone. So we all get to make a clone. Is that right?
Yep.
So you already had yours prepared?
I did. Yeah, you're going to find a lot of these dinos are not looking too hot when you're making them and squashing them.
No. Kinetic Sand obviously does mould and stay together sometimes, but they're so thin. I don't know.
Come on.
I think they needed more of like a thicker 3D sort of mould, perhaps, for it to work, because this is just falling out of the tail.
I got a clone while you were doing that, so now it's your turn while you're...
Oop. Got some. I'll put the T-Rex back in.
Yep.
Alright.
So it's your turn.
So you're making your clone. So that's the last one you can have.
Yes,
now,
I can't have any more than 3.
Alright, I'm going to move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is your turn.
Add that there.
We should mention as well, if you're thinking, oh, it's going to get dirty with the kinetic sand, it's kind of a shiny cardboard almost.
Yeah, it's quite thick too, so...
But it's not plasticky, but then the sand isn't wet, so I think it would be quite alright.
5, I didn't land on anything, so it's your turn.
3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, a token, my first one.
Alright. I can't clone anymore. I've already got 3 in my little clone pen.
I'm going to put mine in here so that it can actually be seen on camera. Yours are fine. You
Yep.
can see yours. Yep. 4. 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4.
down the hatch.
Woo, I'm taking all the shortcuts today.
What's interesting says, I think it says something like if you land there, it says do the action there, but there is no actions on those spaces. Move 4. 1, 2. Whoa!
We really are using these like tunnels, shortcuts, holes, whatever they
We
are.
haven't got like all the T-Rexes and things though.
Move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just having a walk around.
Move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nothing
You sure
on
you...
that space.
Nope, you sure you shuffled?
5. Oh, you saw me shuffle again.
Right.
Why are you moving me? That was me. I really am taking all the shortcuts.
You missed your spot.
Oh no! Yeah, so some of the shortcuts actually take you past where you want to be. Oh wait,
Move 5.
Oh yeah, that one, it happens for that player in the back there as well.
Your turn. Come on, we're coming up to all the T-Rexes now, right?
Pray and pay.
Oh, you get to squish one.
Ready?
Womp, womp, womp.
Squish!
So I
Sand
get...
doesn't really stick to this either.
So I get a token. Thank you.
I mean, it's nice to squish them, but I don't want to help you get tokens. That's not great.
Alright, next. T-Rex. So I move ahead 1, which means I get a token. I then squish you.
Ah.
And then I get a token.
Yeah, so the reason Nathan got 2 there is because the move ahead gave him a token,
Because it
and
says
then
move ahead
this
1.
card also gives you a token if you're wondering why he picked up 2.
Guess what?
You have 5.
I have 5.
Boy, that was fast. This game goes quick.
Yes. I mean, imagine if you got more than 2 players, because then you can choose who to squish, and if someone's got 3 or 2 dinosaurs, you can squish them before someone else.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's any way to lose tokens once you've gained them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's handy.
Unless... Where's that manual?
Over here. I'm just going to check 2, so... I'm not going to mould them all, because as you saw, the dinosaurs weren't staying together, but that's roughly sort of the size you need. So if everyone had 3 dinosaurs, so Nathan has...
Yeah, so...
Sand for the 3rd there.
So with the T-Rex and the prey and player, it just says the collected Jurassic token. It doesn't say specifically from the other player.
Okay.
So I suppose you could do that if you want to make it a bit more interesting.
A bit hard, a bit more cutthroat.
But it just says take a token, so I'm assuming from like the token bank.
Okay.
So once you've got a token, it doesn't look like you can lose them.
Alright, so I was just checking sort of a rough amount here. It looks like there's probably just enough, for everyone to have their 3 dinosaurs.
And yeah, with the slide, it says land here and move your dinosaur to the other end of the slide. If you move to an action space, immediately do that action on this turn, but none of the slides end on an action space.
No.
So that's a little unusual.
Alright, so there is just enough sand. I've just divided them roughly into the size we've needed for the mould. Just enough. If you do have kids who are likely to be dropping a lot of that sand, losing it, but you still want to be playing with 4 players, you know, you can buy like a little small tub of kinetic sand,
Yeah.
maybe just like having one of those extra around if it's something you're going to play on a
Because it's
regular
something
basis
that
would be good.
eventually will diminish.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the nature of the product.
Yeah, I mean, I can see little bits just sitting across our board that'll be hard to get back in here, so I think it's nice, it's simple. I think if your kids are dinosaur fans, I feel like this would be fun.
And who doesn't like crushing Play-Doh and kinetic sand and other things like that?
Yeah, exactly.
There's not a lot of depth to the game.
No, but it's just quick and easy.
Yeah.
Not every game has to take forever.
It doesn't, and it's nice to see some a bit more sort of breezy ones.
Yes. If you enjoyed watching this video, give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comment section down below if you enjoy playing dinosaur-themed games. Doesn't always have to be Jurassic World. There are other dinosaur games out there.
And do you like the games where you can squish things?
Yes.
Like, what was it, the Play-Doh game where you were on the cogs and you had to, like, squish things and all that?
Yep.
That was a good one, too.
But Mr. Potato Head in there, I think, or something.
Yeah, it's on our board game channel. It's somewhere there.
Somewhere here, you mean. This is our board game channel. Hit that subscribe button and check back soon. We have videos every single Tuesday.
Sounds good.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.